everyone, it's Karen Baker and I'm here with another craft kit. This time we are up to number 25 and it is the most gorgeous kit, beautiful colours, and it makes the most stunning little lanterns which you can adapt the size, you can adapt, you can have it, well, tons of different ways. And what I'm going to show you how to make today is this little mini album. Lots of you have seen these. They open out, you can put photographs, messages, poems, chocolates, rings, you name it inside. But it's not designed to be opened and closed in the same way. What I've done is I've created a little bit here that comes off. And when you open it here, it just opens up. And you've got another layer there. And if you're clever, you could put another layer inside. It's really, really easy to do. The colours are just stunning. And you've also got lots of little diddy elements to create these gorgeous little flowers. I won't go through exactly what is in the kit because there are great unboxing videos. If you have a look on the Tonic Studios YouTube channel, there's always a brilliant unboxing one with Owen and Alison. So do check those out so you'll be able to see exactly what's in the kit. The thing that I was really excited about, and you'll probably think it's very sad, is the tweezers. So I will show you these because actually they are a super tool. Now they've got a little plastic part with them which you need to keep, which I've just lost. Never mind, I'll find it in a minute. So it's a super fine point and it will closes, I know you're not going to be able to see that very well, but it closes perfectly together. So if you're picking anything up or you're just trying to put things in place, that is going to be really, really easy. But the thing that I love about it more than anything else is it is really, really good for two other things. You know, when you've got bits in your die cuts, this is so fine that you just poke them out really, really easily. So I love it for that. And I also love that these ends are so fine that when I was trying to cut something out the middle with this little bit here, you know how you have to get a little bit started to be able to get your the parts of your scissors through the blade? Well, actually, just poke through with this. It's nice and safe. You're not going to end up cutting yourself with the scissors with the other side of the blade, which I've done before. But just poke these through. So these are probably the most versatile tool I've seen in a while, and they're beautiful as well. What more could you want? So anyway, I'm going to show you how to make this flip out kit, photo album, and let's get started. So to get started, you're going to need the elements of your flip out box, and these are the main shapes. And depending on whether you're going to do a triangular or square or pentagon shape, you're going to need so many different ones. Obviously for the triangle, you'll need 3, 4 for the square, and for the one that we're doing, which is the 5. So cut them out to start off with. We are going to actually cut a few of the little bits off, and I'm just going to explain. You've got all of the dies here. It's nice and easy to see what you're doing. It is actually a really nice, simple shape for you to put together. So what we need to do, we'll just clear these out the way, is we're going to cut the little elements off. Now what you want to do is keep these ones here. Don't get rid of the bottom flap or the side flap. You could get rid of the side flap and you could tie them together, but actually I found that when I was experimenting it looks better with the side flap on. So all we're going to do is we're just going to cut the top parts off. So just snip along the score line so it makes it nice and easy for you to follow. Snip down so you're just following the very edge of the shape. So we're just going to snip down till we have our shape like that. Okay, and then next you're going to want to put this through your die cutting machine however you want your shape to look. So I've just used some of the inner shapes. See if I can find my shape here. So I've just put this one on. Obviously, if you're doing a shaker, you're going to want one of the larger ones. I've just kept it simple for the outside, but you can go to town. So pop that through. I do use a piece of washi tape or low tack tape because I want to make sure that all of my bits in the middle are positioned the same for each layer. So once I've done that, I just need to put the little outer piece on. So let me find this. This is just utterly gorgeous. I absolutely adore this glitter card. It's low to no shed. I did hack away at it and you might get a tiny odd, but it pretty much is no shed. So for those of you that don't like glitter, this is gorgeous. And it cuts beautifully. You'd be amazed looking at it. You'd think, oh, actually this is going to be a real pig to cut, but it isn't. Using my tangerine, these dies cut them out beautifully. So I just cut the outer piece. I've got my die here. So I cut my outer piece and then my inner piece, and I'm using each bit. If you're careful and you cut the outer pieces out of a regular shape, you can use that as a frame too. So you're not putting any of this gorgeous glitter card to waste. So die cut that as well. And you're going to end up with these two shapes. This one here you're going to need for the top, and this you're just going to use as an outer frame. So let me just glue that on for you. Right, so just pop a little bit of glue around the edges. Thankfully, the underside of this glitter card is actually really easy to glue. If you want to glue something on top of glitter card, just scratch it a little bit with a tool so that you actually have somewhere for the adhesive to stick up against. So we're doing that on all of our 5 pieces. Then all you need to do is score them, or fold them rather, along the scores. So it's going to be this way for that bit, and then you're going to score up. The idea is, it would help. It's actually the opposite way around. Oh dear. I'll show you how not to do it. There we go. What you're creating is like an overhang. Okay, can you see what I've done there? So you're actually creating this sort of shape. So you're going to do that to each of your pieces. And also you need to fold and crease well your tabs. So pop that there and pop that there. So once you've done all of those, you then need a piece cutting out of this die. This is going to be a base. Actually, for this shape, I've cut 2 of those because I've used the top to keep everything together. I've used another piece. So cut 2 of these, and one is going to be your base. And what you're going to do is when you've cut them out, you're going to actually put these underneath. So the inside of your box, you're not going to be able to see any tabs. If any of you are worried about the tabs coming undone, then just cut another of these and stick it on the bottom, and that will help keep everything really, really well secured. So I've done it, because it's not terribly interesting, I've done 4 already. So I'm just going to pop the 5th one on. I could have speeded it up, but it wouldn't have been any benefit to you to actually see what I was doing. Let me just make sure I'm actually sticking the correct bit on. Okay, so just popping the glue on the underneath, making sure you don't get glue everywhere. And then you're just going to be making sure, if I try and lift it up here, you just want to make sure that you line the edges up. Take a bit of time doing this because you don't want any of these end bits overlapping into the next tab. So pop that down like that. Give it a good press. By all means, flip it over and press down there too, and leave it to dry. But what you're going to find is, now when you've got all of these elements together, the tabs themselves just help keep it in one piece, and it just gives a little bit more structure when you've got them together. So you're going to be tucking all these bits together, and there you've got your basic box. Now you can see the top tabs here. All I used was the bit I just cut out. So this bit here, just fold it over so it matches, and then you're just going to put a little bit more glue. Obviously, if we were doing a normal box, The holes that are in here are really handy because you can thread things through, but because we're not doing a normal box closure, I thought I would hide those and make a decorative feature out of them as well. So we've got it all together. Now I'll talk about the decorating as well. I'll show you what I've done. The little dies that you get are absolutely beautiful. Just try and grab them here. So you've got these dies that come as part of the kit. So you've got the leaves and the flowers together. So the only thing I did actually add in was a piece of mirror card from last month's kit. So if you got last month's kit, you'll have this anyway, but any green card will do. And this card is a really great weight, and it means that actually if you wanted to, this is quite a pretty pattern, grab your embellishment mousse and put some over, whether you've got, I mean, you can use old credit cards, pieces of plastic, or you could stipple through it. You can actually create a really beautiful effect just using your die cut leftovers. So you can see here, I have just cut out in the colours. See if you can see it. There we go. And you can see that I've actually added the beautiful little sequins as well. These pink tutu sequins come in 3 sizes, so you can just go to town on doing that. So that is the basic outside. Now for the inside, I found that actually quite usefully, the square box will fit in here. I'm not sure the triangle bottom will actually fit in the square, but this square goes into the pentagon shape really, really handily. Let me just take out my extra bits. You could use those as like little confetti boxes. Just pop them there. And while we've got it open, if you are going to be using this as a little mini photo album, you actually may want the inside space to put photographs. So by all means, add in little elements, and you're going to be able to see the colour from the outside, which looks really pretty. You could actually add these with a little flip. If you put a little fold line there, you could actually have something. I mean, there's so many things that you could do with this. So we need to make our square box. So you're going to want to die cut out your square. Find my little square, which is here somewhere. It's disappeared off. But you've got a square. Here we go. Okay. So you've got your square die there. So that's going to be the bottom. So all you're going to need now is to cut out 4 of these flaps. Now the flaps are actually made from the main shape again. So what I did was I got my piece of cardstock. I measured roughly how high I wanted. I wanted them to be about 7 centimeters, well, less than 7 centimeters rather. So I got my piece of card, which is here, which is about 7 centimeters width. And then all I did was, knowing that all of my pieces were going to be the same, I took my die and I just popped the bottom, because obviously we don't need this top bit, the bottom part of the die, and I measured it. So the bottom of the die is on the bottom of one side of my piece of cardstock. So I knew that whenever I took it along, I knew that all of my pieces would be exactly the same. So what you end up with is this shape, or that way around. So all I would need to do now is trim that off, because I need the bottom flap so it fits beautifully on the bottom of the square. So I end up with 4 pieces just like this. Again, fold and make the crease nice and straight. So I end up with 4 of these flaps. Then exactly how I've compiled this bit here, I need to compile the square. So let me just pop my final piece on. And again, you can decorate this as much as you want. I've just added a decorative element rather than photos, because I thought it would be quicker to show you, because everyone knows what photographs look like. So you can imagine your own photo album quite easily. So pop that on there. And then I've just used some of the elements from the shapes of the kit. I'll just die cut these out from the paper. So I'm just going to add these in. There we go, just pop these on quickly. And usefully, these are exactly the same width as your squares. So that's going to fit perfectly. And my other piece of pink. And they might look the same colour in the camera, but actually one is pearlescent and one is plain cardstock. So there is a difference between the two, and they do look really lovely together. Okay, so I've got my little middle bit. Now I'm not going to keep doing this. I mean, you can see, you could do the inside, you could actually put something smaller that could be part of the surprise when you open it. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach my square. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as it fits securely in the middle. Just try and make sure it is centered properly. Right, let me just add a little bit of double-sided tape. There we go. This is just for speed. If it's going to have a lot of handling, I would recommend using the Deluxe glue, because it does have a long-term hold. It is a bit stronger. So let's take these off. But for the sake of me positioning it and waiting for it to dry, I thought I would just use this. So do this overhead. Sometimes it's easier to hold these up. And as long as your corners are away from... do this now. Somebody needs to play some music in the background while I try and line it up. There we go. Okay. So there's no particular art to it. You just need to do it so that you've got all your pieces together. And then we're going to do the top to make sure it fits properly. Now for the top, what I decided to do was create something using the die that we used for the bottom. So I cut another of these out, and I did a little bit of trial and error, and actually what I found the easiest thing to do was simply to cut these panels out, line them up roughly. I mean, it's more or less just a little shade, little bit. I mean, you could line it up exactly and then follow the line round and just cut it out. It's nice and easy. It doesn't take very long, and because you've got these shapes which are part of the kit, which are the dies, because you've got these dies to cut out the paper with, any sort of thing, any area that's not perfect will be hidden by the edges. So that's how I did that piece there. And then all you're going to do is squeeze these bits together. I didn't do that one. And you're just going to pop this over the top. So the floral edge matches the floral part of my front. There we go. And what you'll find is once you pull them through, it just rests on really beautifully. And there you've got your little mini album ready to fill with whatever you want. It is a stunning little kit. Obviously we could put flowers the whole way around. You could put some of the sentiments that come with the kit. You could do all sorts of things. It would help if I tuck that one in. There we go, just tuck the edge in. But you can see how much versatility there is with this kit, and so many things that you can make with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Kit 25. We can't wait to see what you are going to create with it. As soon as you've got your kits through and you've created things with them, do tag us on social media. Do join the Tonic Studios Facebook group, because we love to see what sort of things that you've created. So until the next kit, I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye.